I'm going to go through the 2-year-olds quick. Do your kids ever treat you like you work for them? It's Sunday, and you guys know the week Amy and I have had, whether it just be the emotional roller coaster or the physical work that we put in and driving all over the place. And Dave was like, "Oh, I'm going to ask my friends if they want to go to the movies. Can you drop us all off?" No, not this week. You can't. I have to race tonight at Northfield Park, and I just got home from Virginia last night at 10:30, and I was in Ontario the night before that and flew to Virginia at 4 o'clock in the morning, or get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's a hard no. And they look at you like, "Okay, can you read your contract? I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do that." Anyway, we had to come to a place that sells exotic fruit because Ava needed an exotic fruit of some sort for school tomorrow. Didn't tell us what kind or anything. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the 2-year-olds right now. AC/DC is jogging. We'll be ready to go probably December. I told somebody the other day, they were a little surprised. Well, he was out in the field for 2.5 months. I know that I watched him jog the other day when Harry was going with him. He'll start training, I suspect, next week, and likely that will make him ready to go middle to the 1st of December, I would think. We'll see how AC/DC does. Aunt Sarah come back, and I was really happy to hear from Johnny actually jogged Aunt Sarah the other day and said, he'd gone with her a lot in the spring. He said, "What a different horse." He said, "She's not on that shaft. She doesn't seem agitated and out of gear. She seems good, really, really good and really comfortable," which is music to my ears. I was very happy to hear that. Blue Rare is out in the field now. We'll bring back Blue Rare around the 1st of December. I guess October, November. Yeah, around the first part of December. Jog her up and have her ready to go mid-January, I think. Or, middle towards the end of January. And again, if James goes there and says his filly's training back very good and feels very strong, okay, we can slow the roll, so to speak. And if she's coming back very kind of okay, then it's fine. Get her ready. We'll race her a couple of times, and that way we don't have to worry about paying her into March and April stake races. We can just focus on the other horses. That might be surprising for you to hear, actually, when I say it bluntly like that. But that's kind of the trajectory we're on with all the horses. Okay, show me. You want to come back good? Perfect. We'll stake you. We'll take our time. We'll get you ready in March. You want to come back so-so or have a bad attitude, you'll likely be ready the middle of February and moved on before they get to stake races in April. And there's a number of the horses that will fit in both categories this year. And I suspect Blue Rare will fit in the first one, where we take our time and get her ready in March, because she's always had talent and speed. How much has been the question. So that will be answered in her sophomore training, and most definitely before she gets to her sophomore season. Capistrano Nights is in Ohio. I was toying with the idea of sending her to Ontario, but Ontario, we have 3 horses coming up from the Maritimes. Jamie Smith is sending his Heston Blue Chip filly, and obviously Woodmere Betcha and another filly up to race either the Mohawk, Meadows, Northfield, or Dayton, Miami Valley, whatever. But that will depend on how the horses do, right, and where they fit. And if they all fit in Ontario, well, Ontario will be getting pretty full, especially since I do want to have an open pacer, an open trotter. We'll talk more about that in the opening with Amy when she's done buying fruit for our daughter at the store. So Capistrano Nights in Ohio again. I felt that there was some steam there when I qualified her. She looked good, and she was not 100%. She is now, and I'm very eager to see how she's going to be when she actually starts racing as a 3-year-old. It's October, so you're going to see her race again before she is a 3-year-old, more than likely. But we'll see what that looks like. Cherry's Girl was very, very good. It's hard to explain to you how hard it is for a horse to train down, race their entire staking season, be virtually done, have a couple of stakes left. It's getting to the end of the season. Then they get sick. So sick that you have to scratch them. They're off for 2 weeks. There was actually quite a few loud voices in my head saying, "Why don't you just pull the plug and turn her out?" And I almost did. I jogged her all week myself, and she jogged good, felt good. And I'd said to Mike Latessa, Dr. Latessa, I said, "Hey, what are your thoughts?" On Monday and Tuesday, it was like she probably is not going to race. On Wednesday, maybe. On Thursday, possibly. And on Friday, yeah, okay. So they shipped her down. I think this was this played a big role. Shipped her down to Shenandoah. When I got to Shenandoah, I didn't realize that the ship-in facilities were outside. It was a tent, like they had in Oak Grove the first year we went down. Now, we weren't in the tent in Oak Grove. We had stabling, but it was there. And when I got there, my nose was dry. She was outside all night, right? Little mountain air. A little bit of a homecoming for her. So she was very, very, very good. I know you're going to say, wow, she wasn't in against it a whole lot, and certainly wasn't, hardcore stake fillies that she faced last year, and she's a big, strong filly. She's a talented filly. It's not shocking she did well. You still got to go there and do it. You still have to go there and execute. And the fact that she was so sick for 2 weeks and then bounced back to put in what arguably I could tell you is the best race of her life, that was impressive. I know you're going to say, well, it wasn't the best race of her life, Delaware. The same thing Amy said. But Delaware, yes, she raced good, but she was strong. That's the strongest I've seen her. What happened? There's no fruit.
Not exotic.
Well, define exotic. I mean, we're not talking
No, they don't have
something from Venus.
No, they haven't. I even asked if they had,
Would you want to try giant eagle? Yeah, passion fruit would have been good.
guava.
Nothing, eh?
Nothing.
Do you want to try
They're very
giant eagle?
friendly in there, in case you're wondering.
Aldi? It's still a terrible place. I was wondering if you were going to come back out. We went to Aldi the first time we went to Ohio. I will say this, and no offense to anybody in the States, but the Canadian grocery stores are, I don't want to say they're better. They're different, for sure, they're different. But you have such a multitude in this Aldi place. It's a dump. I don't like this place. I never did. Just have to go see a giant eagle. Whatever. Anyway, Cherry's girl was just very, very good the other day. Very happy with her. I'm very pleased. Because it's hard for me to explain that. You see a race in Shenandoah, she won by a bunch of lengths and beat a bunch of horses that she's supposed to beat. You just take that for what it is. But it's so much more. For her to go out and put in that effort at the end of the season after shipping 6 hours to Virginia the night before, that says a lot about her character and her demeanor. And she was fantastic. Degas, here's another filly I'm so looking forward to racing as a 3-year-old. She just shown me so much. And another horse that just wants to do her work good every day. Taking a mark of what's she make, Mark? 56, right? Degas? Yeah, Dexter won there in 56. But his trotted faster. The mile she went the other day was great. Now she has the 7-hole with Dave Miller driving her on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday, and it's not going to be an easy race for her, but we'll see how she does on Tuesday. Excuse me. I haven't had a good sleep. I don't know how long. Must be nice to sleep in the 9 o'clock.
When's the last time I did that?
Diosa Della Danza is in the field. We'll bring her back around December, so when she starts to feel good, look good, filled out, that's when it's time to bring her. And that'll be somewhere between 6 to 8, 9, 10 weeks. We'll know it when. That's a great thing. The dialogue we have at this farm, Powerline Stables, is James Day's. I don't know what he is. Is that his wife's family or is his family? I'm not sure, but they do a great job. Tom is the gentleman's name. Really nice man. Don't Ask Again will remain out until December 1st or so, and then we'll bring her back in. Excited to see how she is, especially she didn't mature as quickly obviously as Cherry's girl, but there was some maturity there. So I'm wondering if you're going to see a 180 where now she turns into the horse we really wanted her to be, that she didn't become. Now she tried him 56-28 apiece her last start at the Meadows. She wasn't a bad filly, but is there a chance we can see her become a stake filly? I don't know. We're going to find out together here when we bring her back in December. Dune, another filly that she did well. We didn't pay much for her. She made good money. I think everybody felt a little let down because we just assumed with her talent level training down that she was by far the best. Go where? Meyer? Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot this place was even here. Did you ever go in here?
Never.
It looks a little more fancy, eh? I'll just take you out of the front door. Throw you out in the rain.
This is what I love doing.
You love shopping in the rain on Sunday? Well, it wasn't our plan. I just like that it wasn't needed. that you're doing it for. It wasn't my doing. Here, I'll let you out the door, and then I'll just... Why'd you give me back the card? Okay. Alrighty. So, where are we at here? Dune. I just think that we had it in our heads, I certainly did, that she was just so much better than anything we'd seen at a Michigan training down, that she was obviously going to be the best horse in Michigan. But it wasn't just Dune, it was Captain Victorious, right? He played a major role in the state of Michigan this summer, and we didn't have the best filly. I believe we had the second best filly, but not the best filly. Louane Miller's filly was clearly the best filly in Michigan, but she had a great year, did well, certainly no complaints, doesn't owe us a thing, but we did end up going back and getting another Captain Victorious filly, I might add, and a colt by a sire that no one, even in Michigan, has heard of, Park Lane Eagle. But Dave's AI software has pointed us in that direction. I'm going to tell you something. Willy Wide, great name. It's growing on me, and just a really likable horse. Does his work very well on the track. So Dune will be back in around, I don't know, December, middle of December, something like that. Now, a little tricky with Dune, she still fits a maiden at Northfield because those races are considered fair races. But in Ontario, she fits in hours of 3 or 4. So a little bit different. I would love nothing more than get her back to Ontario and watch a race in Ontario. If she ends up back in Ontario, it's because she's trained back very, very strongly, and don't care if she has to go to the non-winners of 3, which would be a great thing. Actually, everybody would be happy for that. Emerald Tom, we castrated him, turned him out the other day. He won't be back in until the middle of December. Head to Know is jogging right now in Ontario, getting ready to start training. He'll be training soon at First Line Training Center. Hanger 1 is turned out in Pennsylvania right now. I left the horse at Andy Rickard's farm. I just think solitude is the way to go with this guy. Nice colt, very likable horse. Showed flashes of speed. That 26 and 4/4 in Kentucky, his first start, was amazing. But then kind of tailed off after that. Trotted 58 that day, trotted 58 his next start, and then I was stuck in Chicago at the airport trying to get to Kentucky, and what had happened was he ended up with a new driver and threw a little twister. It was a setback. It was disappointing. We ended up bringing him back over to qualify him. That was the day they canceled the races at the last second, which is fine. Didn't matter to me. I trained him in 59 that day on a very poor track, and he trained fine. I said to Andy, mentally he's a little bit better. Physically, he's obviously still staying strong. I'd like to see another 100 pounds on him, and I know that I've driven enough horses for Andy Rickard. His horses are always very, very well put together and in fine shape, both physically, and they carry plenty of weight. He does a great job. He does a great job with his horses. So I just simply told him, you're at your own farm. It's nice and peaceful and quiet there. Why don't I just leave the horse over there, turn him out for 2 months, start him back. When we have to go any kind of faster miles, I can slide over. It's in between, I believe it's in between Pennsylvania, in between Northfield and the Meadows. Some morning that I'm going to the Meadows, just leave a little bit earlier, drop by Andy's farm, or take him to the Meadows, go over there early and train him at the Meadows. We have options. A little bit different, not what we're used to, but definitely have options with respect to Hanger 1. Highest honors, again, nice colt. Happy to race him as a 3-year-old. I think he's going to do us some good. Paced him 52 and 4 already last year. Took a mark of 58, 27 on the end of it, but put it all together up top and ended up being a nice horse to deal with by the time we ended up closing out our summer with him. In New York, I saw him the other day in Ontario. He looks great. He's jogging and start training soon he'll start training soon in Ontario. I'm going to pull up a little here so Amy doesn't get wet. It's raining pretty good now. Jailbird Jog. We'll talk more about Jailbird Jog and Perfect Thought in the opening with Amy, but she had a great year. And we're going to treat her as if she is going to get in on Saturday until she does not get in on Saturday off the also eligible list. You know, was it disappointing? Yeah, very disappointing. But at the same time, what you get?
That's a very nice store.
Oh, you like that one? Oh, we can go there from now on if you want. What you get?
I have no idea.
Ramboon. I've never heard of
And
Ram.
just in case, I got this dragon fruit as a backup.
I've seen that. I've eaten that, but I haven't seen it in its whole form.
Look at it.
Yeah. It looks so porcupine thing.
Pretty.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Go here. So, we've gotten
I wouldn't eat
Ava.
that if you paid me $1,000.
No, Ava has given us demands,
It
and
has
we've
hair.
no, it's got like tentacles or something. We've done our daughter's demands for the morning. I'm gonna have to veto the trip to the movies. Yeah, the Blue Jays are playing today. Football's on today. You know, do we have Tostitos and stuff at home for us? How long do I have to stare at you before you just run? Before you just running? But just for you and I. Just for you and
I don't
I.
want to eat Tostitos.
Yes, you do. You don't want to go in and get Tostitos. There's a difference.
I was just in
Wait,
there.
wait. They're probably at the gas station at the corner, right?
I don't know.
Well, you need gas, so we'll go there. That way, I'll save you getting angry at me. Speedway it is. Bye, Mayor. Thank you very much. So, JK Mega, we castrated him, turned him out in the field also. We're going to treat him as the nice horse that I think he is. I didn't really ask Harry his thoughts on the horse or what he thought happened with him the other day. It doesn't matter to me. I didn't ask any questions. I only gave a couple of demands. Castrate him, turn him out in the field. So he's castrated out now, and he's going out to the field. That's the other thing. Harry he just thinks we're going to turn him out at the field, like at the farm in Ontario. No, he'll be going to Shauna's. He was castrated. Yeah, he was getting castrated the other day, so hasn't been a week yet. I think if there's no swelling and it starts to heal up good, at that point he'll be heading directly to the field at Shauna's place. Jolene Hall, same thing. You know, it's exactly what you said in your email. I mentioned back to you. That's how tough that filly is. Jolene Hall's a good filly and was just getting over the virus. We raced her the other day. She didn't seem sick to me. She seemed fine, but was very lethargic finishing up her mile. Now, the track was deep, and I could give you a number of excuses, but at the end of the day, she wasn't awesome. And then you look at Cherry's Girl, who was sicker longer than Jolene Hall and much more aggressively than Jolene Hall, bounced back and then put in the performance she put in yesterday. I think she's going to be a nice 3-year-old, that filly. She's got her ears up. Like, she'll come right out, nuzzle right up beside you before she bites your face off and kick you. Well, she broke that girl's pelvis last year.
She doesn't like other horses.
But she's
You
a nice horse.
that when you turn around.
She's an... Oh, well, it seems like that's something the other horses should figure out. Not her.
She kicks on.
No, she's not going to kick the other horses.
She absolutely will.
That's how the fields work. It's, there has to be an ecosystem. There's the alpha and the other ones, and there's nothing wrong with her being the alpha. I like it. Judy's Money, another filly, just had an absolutely tremendous year. You have no idea. She hit up on that jack. We worked, and say what you want, Michelle worked her butt off to keep that filly's leg good and to work on her. She learned a lot this year too. Michelle learned a lot about the carrying of a horse, and Judy's Money put in just a tremendous effort. That last week she got beat fair and square, but she raced her butt off, and you can't not have a ton of respect for that filly. There was a horse in Indiana I was going to bid on, and it was out of a sister to Judy's Money. I don't know where Judy's Money's family ever went, if they sold a sister or brother. Maybe they did in the Buckeye, I'm not sure. But you can't look for any indicators that will allow you the insight of, that horse is going to try harder than the other horses or work harder than the other horses. She just did. She was a nice filly. Leland Hanover's back in Ontario. I saw him. He looked good on the track. Johnny jogged him the other day. I'm very eager to see how this guy's going to train back too. Still maybe a hair lean, not fat.
I don't think he's ever going to train.
No, he can. And I know they do it. That's the one thing I will say about the girls over there in Ontario. They do put a lot of weight on the horses, and I want to see him. By the time we start training him in another few weeks or 2 weeks, I want to see him a little bit bulkier than he's been than he did. So, not skinny, but I just know when you start training him down, he is going to tuck up. And I want to have a little plumper starting point with Leland Hanover. It's just that he's growing up. He's getting huge now. So you just can't, it's hard to keep weight on when they're sprouting up and bulking out. It's hard to explain unless you see it. And he's really gotten to be a very big horse.
But that's the same thing that happened with Sweet Lake. And they were both
She's huge
June
now.
foals.
She's huge now.
I'm thinking that's part
My
of it.
God. Sweet Lake has put on 200 pounds of mass.
But she's a June foal, and so
Yeah.
is he.
Yeah, you're right.
So
You're right.
it's
Yeah, you're right.
they're growing now.
We're not going to go to this one. We'll go to the Speedway. Outside
Why
your
don't you go up there and go to the big one?
What big one, honey? This is the big one. They'll Tostitos in there. Won't be a problem. I'll finish up my video and I'll do the gas. Just give me a sec. Lifting Legend. Looked good. I saw him the other day. Talk about a horse that looks bigger now. He looks great too. I told Dom, just swim him for a week when you're comfortable how his knee feels and looks. And the other thing is you want to get some work into him and then turn him out in the field. You don't just want to turn him out in the field, have him rip and tear and maybe re-injure that knee a little bit. So it's good. It's cold. It seems good. I would swim him, jog him, turn him out of the field at the farm for a little bit and then out to the field with Lifting Legend. He looks good though. Very happy with what I saw from him. Love Sensation looks good too with Harry. He was jogging her the other day. I said, she's getting a little aggressive, and he went to put a mini bit on her. I said, well, she wore snake cord forever, and we don't allow mini bits in the barn for the most part. I think it's maybe one of the most useless pieces of equipment on planet Earth. And I didn't ask how she was after, but he said she's been jogging good and feeling good now, which is good. Megan's Lucky Day, we'll bring her in November 1st, I guess. We'll bring in Megan's Lucky Day. Millie Girl, same thing. We'll bring her in November 1st. My name's Swaney. Probably wait a little bit with her. She was probably December. We'll bring in Waney. Neuromancer's in now. We're going to bring him over to Ohio from Ontario. He's going to train here, not over there. Perfect Thought. Megan said she left a tiny bit of breakfast this morning. This is the start of, I knew it had to be something. It's the start of the sickness. We drew her blood. Her white count was good. There was no indications of sickness, but it wasn't with Cherry's Girl either when she was sick. Her white count was always down. Her blood looked good. There was no indicators in her blood that says she was sick, but she's looking at me with snot coming out of her nose, coughing, and it ended up being a virus. So not the same thing. Megan said no temp, just a tiny bit of feed left, which is not like her. No mucus, no coughing. So I believe there's a little bit going on there. You know, the indicators under scope, she was fine, but Judy Cherry's Girl, when we scoped her, wasn't that bad last week when she was coughing. So it's just a weird thing, and I know exactly what it is. It's baby season, right? Start pushing buying them at the sales and running them all over the places. All of a sudden, it only takes a couple of horses getting sick, and then it spreads like wildfire. There's nothing you can do. It's like when the kids go back to school. And it is frustrating. We've done everything we can to quarantine our racehorses, but I would suspect that Perfect Thought was a tiny bit sick. So I'll talk to Megan a little bit more about it today, and then we'll figure out where we're going from here with her. It may be the field, and it may be she had said she could race in the kindergarten, potentially make the consolation and race in the 3 Diamonds. She only raced 9 times this year. Or she could be getting a little sick and she might go to the field. So we'll figure that out over the next few days, which path or a variation of either that we do. But for right now, she seems fine. As I said today, she'd said just a hair bit of food left in her feed tub. Pretty Eyes and Lies is back in going now. Have you gone with her yet? You haven't gone with her?
I've been in the barn.
But before you were in the barn, you never got to go there once?
I got to jog one day, and then I was stuck in the barn.
Okay. Is Allie coming back tomorrow? Oh, so you'll be jogging tomorrow?
I hope so.
Yeah. So Pretty Eyes and Lies looks good. I'm eager to see how she trains down. You know, my expectations with her are a little more tempered. I want to see her race in the maiden, hours of 2, maybe even the condition claimers to start the season. The 3-year-old allowance is plenty high if there's a spot for her there. If she turns into be a stake filly, a stallion of some sort, then perfect. That would be great. We'll see how she trains down. And races, Rico Tubbs will be back in the first part of December. He really showed up towards the end of the year. I was so frustrated. We had vet work done, had brand new shoes on him, sent him to Pennsylvania, and they canceled the race. Yeah. Rose Run Bobby is back in going now. Does she look good on the track, though?
All right.
Have you seen her yet?
I'll go with her tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So Bobby, by all accounts, she looks fine. Mentally, that's obviously Bobby's biggest problem. So we'll see how she is mentally. Royal Duchess will come back in. I'm really going to give her as much time as I can. Probably December 1st. There's probably a lot of people, and you being one of them, saying, why are we protecting Royal Duchess? Why are we taking our time with Royal Duchess? I just like her. She's tough. I love tough horses, and she's tough. Royal Flushdale looks great. He did grow up quite a bit in Ontario. Looks very, very good. So we'll see how he trains down. Simply Chaotic, again, look good. Also, these are the Ontario horses, or the horses in Ontario that will be training back. Solidarity, James, I think, no, who was going out on the track with him the other day? It told me he seems fine on the track. Oh, it was Dominic. Was literally going out with him. I said, I will tell you this. At no point, Scott Zeron told me at no point in any of the times he drove him did he ever even have an inclination he was going to make a break in the Red Mile. Not one time. He said at no point did he ever get out of gear or feel like he would get out of gear, which was good because that was his issue up here. That tells me that maybe it's his feet, maybe it's just maturity, right? What else would make a horse just roll off stride? Training down here, training down at Mohawk, and qualifying at Mohawk. And James did tell me also when we were talking, he said, well, he did come 26 in the piece first qualifier. I didn't mind the horse. He just didn't put it all together. So if that horse can put it all together with his breeding, might be a sleeper that maybe we haven't paid close enough attention to as we do these videos heading into the winter. Steady Bolo, I'll bring him back up to Northfield probably November 1st, I'll say. Sterling Hanover, he'll be December 1st. We'll bring him back in. Another horse, just with so much breeding behind him, I want to give him every opportunity. If he's going to let us down, fine. Another 4 weeks bringing him out of the field is not going to change anything except for him. It may very well change a lot with him. Supermind, we'll bring him back. Same thing, middle of December, 1st of December. He's been such a nice horse. I wanted to buy his sister in the Buckeye. I think she went for $9,000, I believe. The Long Tom sister, though, of Supermind. So we'll see how Supermind comes back. This year, Sweet Lake is gigantic in Ontario. She is huge. So very excited to see what she comes back like. She was always a little thinner, a little skippy, a little out of gear, but still pace 54 her first start or second start. Took a mark of 56, winning a stake race as a 2-year-old. Winning a stake race as a 2-year-old. So I'm eager to see what she comes back like now more than ever. She just looks totally different. Tomboy Strong will come back first part or middle part of December. Same for Uncle Danny also. Woodmere Bullet, I suspect Smitty will bring him back middle of November, December, something like that. Zena Kemp got that 2-year-old lifetime mark, 57-1. That's very important. She did not get in this week. She'll be in next week. Non-winners of 1, Kentucky 2, I hope will be a good fit for her. And then she'll polish off her year the same time as Degas does. Jolene Hall went out last week. So those are your 2-year-olds, right? Supermind, Woodmere Bullet, and Zena Kemp. Those are your 2-year-olds. I'll be back with your opening. Amy and I got a lot to talk about in the opening. We're going to get right to it in just a minute.